I mean, honestly, y'all don't really know the difficulties that come with recording these videos. Like, I had this whole thing going on right here. It's all gone. It's all gone because I had to look like semi-presentable for this video. So you guys don't know the difficulties that I face. Hi everybody, welcome to Crossing Out the I. Today's video is going to be hopefully a little bit short, but I've got another one in the pipeline that I've been working on. It's been a couple months since I started working on the script, and I've got a new video editor, so hopefully the video quality should improve with, me not using Windows Movie Maker because it's freaking old. But in today's episode, I wanted to talk about forgiveness, which I feel like is, always a relevant topic in the church. But normally when people talk about forgiveness and they make videos and stuff on it, they always talk about it from the perspective of the person who needs to do the forgiving, which is super important. We're not going back on any of that, but I want to look at it from kind of a different angle, and it's one that I've honestly probably encountered more times than I care to admit, which is the perspective of someone who is looking for forgiveness, who's trying to seek it from somebody else. So I had a priest that I know, and he told me once that if I knew that I had angered a friend, then I should apologize to that person as soon as possible. And honestly, that remains one of the best pieces of advice that I've really ever gotten. And it's really important for us to apologize to people because as human beings, we're not that humble. It's really something that's kind of hard for us. And so to apologize to someone is to admit, I was wrong. I'm a sinful person. It's kind of acknowledging the truth of the situation. We're all sinful people, and oftentimes, intentionally or not, we hurt people that we care about. So how do you go about apologizing to someone? Well, first of all, it's very helpful for the conversation to be in person. And that's not to say that you can't apologize via text or letter or anything like that. I just don't find that those work too well, mainly because texting and letter writing or video making, it doesn't tend to lend the same weight that an in-person conversation has, and it's more likely to be misinterpreted just because they don't have that body language or your tone of voice to figure out what's going on. So obviously, when you're thinking about apologizing to someone, your discernment matters. And usually this isn't going to be something that you need to discern too strongly about. Whether you need to, it's the manner of how and when that you need to discern about. And additionally, when you're trying to ask someone for their forgiveness, that's not the time to be trying to pin blame on them for the part that they had in it. It's your time to say, hey, here's what I did wrong. And so that's the next thing, right? So you need to acknowledge what you did wrong. Say it in the plainest terms possible without making excuses. And then you need to say, I'm sorry, or some variant of that, and then ask the person for their forgiveness. Two important notes, okay? First, the person from whom you're seeking forgiveness may not be able to forgive you in the moment because sometimes, especially if they didn't know about the sin beforehand and you're just telling them about that, it can be a big thing for them to try and process. So if they're I need some time to think about that process, that's totally okay. Just let them have that time to pray about it, think about it, because forgiveness is really freaking hard. So really, you need to give them the space that they need to kind of wrestle with that. The next part is the hardest part. So getting forgiveness from a person does not necessarily mean reconciling with them. And honestly, this has been one of the hardest things for me to try and learn in my life. It's 100% possible that the person you're asking forgiveness from will forgive you, but not forget what you did. They very well may walk away from their relationship with you. I've seen it happen by experiencing it personally, and it's not fun. It really sucks. So, they have probably, hopefully, by the grace of God, forgiven you in their heart, but even with that, that person may decide that you're not the type of individual that they want to spend time with anymore, even if you did have a great friendship beforehand. And that has to be okay because, as I've said in one of my earlier videos, you can't force people to be in like a relation with you, like including friendship. I know that that's really hard to accept, so it's important to give yourself some space and some time to heal yourself because you also experienced a wound from your sin. God needs to heal that. So let him into your heart. Keep that other person in your prayers. And I pray that if you're facing a similar situation, that you and that other person are able to reunite in heaven. Because that's where we're all going to be reconciled eventually. May God bless you and help you to walk in his path. Until next time, stay safe.